Hey everybody, Vol here. We're watching the Team Liquid Star League as usual, and what we're checking out at the moment is Game 2 between ScT.HoRRoR and RoX.ALF. Now, this game was in Group B, that was with Draco and Cloud. And this particular game happens to be the losers match between ALF and HoRRoR. So, ALF has spawned at the top right, he's the blue Zerg for this game, and HoRRoR is the Teal Terran, down the bottom left. Map is Blue Storm, as you can see by HoRRoR walling off his choke point there with the supply depot. Yeah, so, interesting group. Unfortunately, what happened, sorry about the spoiler coming up. Draco beat HoRRoR in the first round, Cloud beat ALF in the first round. So Draco went on to face Cloud, but that left RoX.ALF and HoRRoR to face off against each other. This is game 2. I decided to pick up this game because it was a recommended game. I haven't done a commentary for game 1. Apparently RoX.ALF beat HoRRoR in game 1, so this is a must-win game for HoRRoR. Now, looks like ALF putting down his second hatchery there, just on cue. Not going for a fast speedling rush or anything like that. This drone has arrived, so he scouted early with a drone. It's, I guess that's just to make sure that the Terran isn't sort of building any funky sort of proxy barracks or anything like that. Unfortunately, the random SCV sort of floating over the barracks to construct it has been destroyed by the drone. Oh, that's just unfortunate. Here we go with another SCV, just to replace him. Hopefully this SCV is not met with the same fate. Looks like he's not going to be in range of the drone attack there. Spawning pool and extractor going down at the same time, so it looks like we may not be going for a third hatchery. ALF wanting to just mix it up and put more pressure on a little bit earlier on HoRRoR. And oh my god, looks like we've got a factory coming down, and because it was right next to the cliff there, I suspect that factory will be floated up and landed outside of his base. What's happening here? The Marine seems to be shooting at the Kakaroo. Kill the Kakaroo! What is he doing? In the pressure of a must-win TSL game, you've got to kill all the Kakaroos you can. Maybe that Marine just wanted a bit of mutila's target practice, I don't know. Die, Kakaroo. Here he comes now. The Kakaroo's moved off screen. Oh, it's back. Bang. Kakaroo's dead. Wow. What did it ever do to you, Marine? Lair being morphed now for ALF. So we could be looking at a quick Mutalisk, 2-hatch Mutalisk. Very popular on this map. Luckily, this is Blue Storm 1.2 rather than 1.1, so there has been a small amount of space added behind the natural mineral line. Double starport going down for HoRRoR, so it's clear what he wants to do. Just sending a couple of vultures out from this factory. So we're looking at 2 volts into wraiths. This is it's not exactly a standard Terran build, but it is a well understood and tested build, and it does work from time to time. So yeah, really interested to see how this plays out. Double starport heading up now. Soon it'll be complete, and this is actually quite a quick one. HoRRoR has wasted no time in sorting this out. I've got a Zergling scouting on the map, and over at the top left, it's just unfortunate that Alpha hasn't actually scouted at the 6 o'clock yet, because that's where the vultures are, and with one sunken colony, he might be able to get a vulture or 2 past if he's lucky. There's the spire just being started now, so that vultures are probably going to arrive in time. Here they come. There's 2 vultures coming out now. I think they might have just missed that Zergling. So both of them heading out, and factory safely floating back into the Terran base. Both wraiths are starting now, so even if these vultures don't cause too much damage, they should be able to cause a distraction at least. Vultures heading in past the sunken colony now, getting hits. It looks like yep, one of the vultures has been killed. Vulture sniping back at the drones, and Zergling's giving chase to that vulture. So ALF will know at this point that HoRRoR is definitely up to something non-standard. He's probably expecting the race, because that's what Terran players often do after they've taken the first couple of vultures. And all of the Zerglings dispatched of, sniping away at a couple of drones now. This is actually quite effective by HoRRoR. That Wraith is looking for an Overlord to snipe at. A vulture nearly dead, managed to take out yet another Zergling. Yep, this Wraith over here has found the Overlord, so it's just sniping away. Vulture not being microed, he's probably got too much other stuff to do with his base right now. Here comes the second Wraith. Those Mulists should be out soon though, so it just depends whether that Overlord has supply kept them on. No, it hasn't. So we've got the Spire up, Mutalisks being morphed in eggs right now, another Overlord being produced, and Scourges in some eggs ready to go. That's quite good actually. Get rid of those wraiths fairly quickly. And no men or any second base for Horror, so he's really got to make this harass count, otherwise he's going to be severely behind. Yeah, a Vulture in Elf space still alive. I'm not sure how much longer it's going to survive. Yeah, there's the Mutalist now to pick it off, so no more Vulture harass. And he even put down a Sonker colony. I feel like that may have even been unnecessary given the fact that he had Mutalisks arriving. A Hydralisk Den going up. I guess he feels that he wants to have those added, that added protection against wraiths, especially if the wraiths are going to be using cloak. Although no control tower at all for Horror, and that's really interesting to me. Usually you'd for situations like this you need cloaking because the Mutalists are just against the wraiths. But I guess he just didn't have enough. That's actually quite fortunate that Horror had the numbers advantage. Maybe he was just sacrificing that control tower for extra resources to build another wraith. Or maybe he was just figuring he would stay out of range and not really need it. I guess once you get in close with the Zerg, he tends to bring Overlords out, and that really prevents you from using Cloak effectively. Although, in my opinion, when you're out in the field, it's really handy to have Cloak anyway, because sometimes you can pick off an Overlord, and sometimes if you've got Cloak, that really helps you to run away from Scourges. ScT.HoRRoR's just repairing the wraiths now, so he's trying to get more mileage out of them. He's got nothing else yet. He's got no ground units at all. Still no control tower. That engineering bay's up, so he should be able to get some turrets with that. I've got an ScT.HoRRoR sitting there. Maybe he still hasn't got a second base yet. That's cool. Well, yeah, this is what he's doing right now, getting that command center up. So if he's able to do a bit more damage and just keep the Zerg player contained in his base and just scare him off a bit, he should be able to get to a second base and try and get back into an economic standoff with the Zerg, because at the moment he's behind. Overlord speed being researched. ALF really believes at this point that Horror has gone for cloaking, and that his game plan is just to use cloaked wraiths for a while. And I guess that's maybe why he's needing Overlord speed, and you can't blame him for that. I mean, normally the Terran player would get cloak. So, given what his knowledge is at the moment, it's not actually a bad move for ALF to try and get Overlord speed. But he just doesn't know that it's not really necessary because the wraiths don't have cloak. So wraiths coming in now, but ALF has got Hydralisk defending, which is good. So this is going to give ALF a chance to get his economy off the ground. Meanwhile, Horror is just massing wraiths. He's not really building anything but wraiths. Looking to do some damage here. Okay, so Overlord should be sniped. No, that was just a drone or something. Just moving back, and wraiths outnumbering the Mutalisks because ALF has gone for a combination of Mutalisks and Hydralisks. So the wraiths actually managed to do quite well. His micromanagement's quite good here. This is turning into a firefight, and yeah, the Mutalisks are losing because the wraith numbers, he must have about 8 by now at least. So very effective there. This is a really, really interesting play because I don't think I've ever seen a build like this which features mass wraiths against Zerg but without cloak. So he's doing quite well without it. I mean, he's just relying on his micromanagement, and he figured that maybe ALF would go for a kind of response like this, and it is kind of playing into his hands right now. Another couple of Overlords sniped. So every Overlord killed means that ALF has to use up time and larvae just to get back into supply again, and that's going to help him out. Third hatchery going down, that's what he needs just to boost the economy and try and stay ahead of Horror. But Horror's now got his command center up and he's got tanks, so if there's a Hydralisk counterattack, hopefully he'll be safe once he gets siege up. But yeah, his economy should be able to boost. Oh my god, ALF actually moving out with a massive group of Hydralisks and a Overlord supporting just in case Horror decides to get a cloak at any point. Horror deciding now to move in and attack, and oh my god, no Hydralisks left at ALF's main, so these drones are getting massacred by the wraiths. There's so many of them, it's really easy to pick them off. Oh my god, ALF hasn't left any Hydralisks at home, so this could be a blunder by him. The wraiths just laying the smackdown on